Paddleton, not to be mistaken with Paddington, is a 2019 film directed by Alex Lehman, and it stars Mark Duplass and Ray Romano. It has been distributed to Netflix in the past month, and I just decided to give it a watch because it looked pretty interesting, and it turned out to be actually really quite good. The film follows the story of Mark Duplass and Ray Romano, who are really good friends, they're neighbours as well, and the film takes you straight into the story by immediately showing that Mark Duplass has just been diagnosed with cancer, and he decides very fairly that he doesn't want to live through those conditions. He doesn't want to go through everything that you have to go through with cancer. And Ray Romano's character is like, look, you know what? Like, you can bounce back from this. You can fight back. You can fight this and survive. But he decides that he would rather go through euthanasia. And Ray Romano is pretty much with him every step of the way. It's actually really quite a sweet story because their friendship is so strong, and it's just so nice to see these two have this very severe bond together. It does make for some very good scenes as well. They have great chemistry together. There are some witty, funny moments throughout the film. Probably not as many as there could have been. I do feel like they could have utilized that a little bit more because they did have quite a good dry sense of humor, these two characters, and I feel like they could have utilized that throughout the film a little bit more. In like a Tamara Jenkins type fashion where, you know, every one of her films is just very serious, but even still it manages to make for some really funny and down-to-earth moments, and she can always turn like a bad situation into a more wholesome type situation by just making it more relatable and more human, that kind of thing. Whereas instead in this film there are quite a few dull moments, a few scenes that just don't really have that much to them and probably could have been thrown out and not really changed the story much, like when they're in the hot tub and that girl comes over and it's just a bit random, you know. It doesn't really amount to anything. It doesn't really have that much substance. It could have probably been replaced with something a bit more interesting, or even something a little bit more funny, I guess. I do also think they probably could have used the Paddleton thing as well a little bit more, because Paddleton is a game that they invent. They basically have tennis rackets and hit a ball against the wall, and the ball has to land in a barrel. You do see it quite a few times where they're just chatting and stuff, and it's really quite in the moment type stuff, which I really appreciate. But I think that's something they probably could have utilized a little bit more than they did. And they are just some pretty minor issues that I have with the film. I guess it's kind of predictable where it's going to go, but other than that, I do think it's really good. I think it handles the subject matter very, very well. It's very heavy as well. There are some really, really hard-hitting scenes, and I think the film ends really well too. And as I did just say, the film is fairly predictable. I do actually think the tone of the ending is something that I wasn't quite expecting, and I appreciate the film for how it ended too. Obviously I won't give away any spoilers or anything, and with it being accessible just by, you know, logging onto Netflix, I just think you should definitely go watch this film if this is the kind of thing you're into. If anything I've said so far appeals to you in any capacity, then please do go watch this, because I think it's really good. I think for me personally, the replay value won't be too strong for this film, so I'm going to go 7 out of 10. I think it's really good though. Definitely go watch this. I did enjoy it quite a bit, and thank you for listening to my review. If you have actually seen this film and you have any opinions on it, then let me know. That'd be good to hear what people think of the film, what I should go see and review next. Thank you for listening to what I have to say, and goodbye. Have a good day.